You're the resident brewing expert, I believe.
I think that might be a stretch, but I'll take it.
Awesome. I have no idea what I'm doing. To be quite honest with you, I've done the shortcuts and now we're going to do partial mashing. So it's a whole new experience for me.
Yeah.
So to get going with our partial mashing,
Yeah.
I like the word mashing because the sparging bit has already been taken care of. We've got ourselves some beautiful malts here, which are specialty malts for the flavor, and we've got some hops.
Yeah.
And we have our cans, but what do we do? How does it all come together?
So it's really easy. We're just going to warm up the cans and then we're going to add them to some nice hot water. We're going to tip that into the kettle. Then we're going to pop our hop spider in the middle with our specialty grains. And then we're going to let that mash out for a while. And then once it's mashed enough, we'll remove the grains. We will add some hops and do some boiling. And from there, we'll cool it down, whirlpool it.
Back into the fermenter.
Yeah, and then
the
back
real
into the
magic
fermenter.
starts.
That's
Then
right.
the magic starts. So I have a few questions.
Go for it.
My choices to get this done. I know the brewers have got all kinds of things about temperatures.
Yeah.
So where do we start with temperature?
So that's why we got this kettle here. So it's electronically controlled. So we want to mash it out at 64 degrees.
So I bring it up to 64 degrees?
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
And then when I add my grains, it's the same temperature?
Yes, that's right. For the mash process, we're going to mash it at 64. Then after that, obviously, we're going to bring it up to boiling.
Boiling, good. Right, I'm here to help you. I think the good folks at BlackRock said, I need to make sure you wear these.
Yeah, absolutely. Safety first.
What can I start with?
So let's get the extract warmed up so it's nice and easy to tip.
You saying warm up the extract. My way of usually doing this, because we do it usually for standard fermenting, is just putting it in hot water.
Yeah.
You good with that?
Yep, absolutely.
Right. I think we've got Steve here. Steve, our assistant, is there. Steve, you out there? You're going to sort us out with some hot water, buddy. There we go. We'd love some of that. I always thought it's all just about the hops, but you're saying there's some specialty malts as well we can put in?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you smelt it?
Smelt it? I'm eating some of that.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. What do we have here?
We've got some light crystal and some toffee, and the toffee you can really smell.
Do I get chocolate malt as well?
You can, but we haven't for this recipe.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So here's a big question. What are we going to make?
We're going to make an American Pale Ale.
And that's a little bit on the bitter side. And I've got no bittering in this. So
No.
that's where the magic's going to happen.
Yeah, and we've got full control because we decided to go unhopped, so we can add our own.
Awesome, good. I'm going to get this heated up in the meantime. Goes in exactly right. We're going to leave this in here for, how long?
5 minutes?
63.
Yeah.
We want to go in, what's it, about 64, right?
Yeah, 64. You probably want to go a little bit hotter because when you add your malt and your grains, it's going to drop it down a little bit.
Good. So I think these ones have done their job. You set the water off. You can do some spraying for us.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're going to put it in there.
That's right.
Nice hot boiling water, because we want to be sure that temperature is going to stay what it is. So Storm, just help me out. I've got some choices here. So I can open the can, put it in some nice hot water, and then add it to the kettle. Or can I put this directly into the kettle?
You could put it directly into your kettle, but it depends on your kettle. It might trip out, or you're also going to leave a little bit of extract in the container as well.
I've learned cooking that sometimes when you measure stuff, you want to measure it separately, because if you just chuck everything together and you make a mistake, then you have to chuck everything out. You have to throw it all out. So I'd rather be safe in this case. Recipe calls for how much of this?
So it calls for half a can of this, not the whole can. Yeah.
Half a can?
Half.
I'm just measuring so I can feel the half here.
Just half.
All right, just half. It goes in, nice and runny. Nice and runny half. I'm looking to see if it's about half. I think we're just about there. So half of this. I'm going to use this for another brew later on, so we're going to leave that one on the side. And then these just go in.
Yeah, the whole thing of these. Perfect.
So both of these go in?
That's
all
right.
of it?
Yep, all of
Okay.
it. 67.
Man, this smells great.
Yeah, and have
does.
just the right amount.
Just the right amount. The good thing about these beautiful cans is you want to be sure you get all of it out, and I've learned a trick about that. So I'm going to put some hot water in here that will just dilute it a little further for me.
Swish it around.
Swish it around.
No one likes to waste beer, right?
We don't want to waste this beautiful ingredients that you guys at BlackRock have been producing. So here we go. I'm good with this. Last bits go in. That should sort it out. Awesome.
Probably you stir while I get kitted up, eh?
First of all, what do we call it now? This is our wort now?
Yeah, essentially this is your wort now. So you've taken out a whole lot of the process and you've just got it ready to go.
How's our water looking there?
Yeah, it's looking good. It's up at 67, so should accommodate our nice hot wort.
We've got about 5 litres of it here. And our total brew volume is going to be how much?
Our total at the end of the day is going to be 23, but for now we're just working with the size of the kettle that we have.
Right.
So we're just going to have 12 litres in our kettle.
Do us the honours.
Thank you. Slow, slow. Can you stir it for me while I'm doing this? We don't want it all to sit on the bottom and start to burn.
When we add this liquid, obviously the temperature is dropping slowly.
Yeah, that's right. We can turn the temperature up.
Yeah. We'll put all of it in.
Let's put all of it in and then
Yeah.
take some of it out so we've
Sure.
got more beer in there, right?
Beautiful. Good. You want to take over the stirring? I'll take that away from you. Nice. What happens now? I mean, we've added our beautiful Black Rock wort. The temperature is slowly building up to its required 64 degrees again.
That's right, so we'll just wait for that and then we'll add our specialty grains, specialty malts into our hop spider.
And we do that when it's 64 degrees.
At that temperature, you're going to get all the enzymes out of your grains and you're going to get more sugar, more conversion.
So happy enzymes, better beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Better efficiency.
And we are
63.7, there you go.
63.7 and 64. I'm ready if you're ready.
Excellent. All right, let's do this.
It just goes straight in.
We're going to put it on the hop spider. You grab that.
Hop spider in
Yep.
there first.
You'll have nice steady hands, so we'll put the hop spider in first.
Oh, so I don't just chuck it in the water. I need to put it in my beautiful hop spider. And why do I do that? Why don't I just throw it in?
So this way we're going to be able to remove all the grains once we've spent them by getting all the sugar out of them, nice and tidy. It's going to have less sediment in the bottom of our beer.
So how long do I need to leave it in there?
So we're going to leave this in here for 45 minutes.
And it's boiling while we're doing that, or will we leave it at 64?
No, we're leaving it at 64. We don't want to boil this yet. So what we want to do is you want to pay careful attention. You need to stand around and watch it and indulge it and just give it a bit of a wriggle around every couple of minutes, a bit of a hoozle up, so the water's flowing through those
hoozle.
grains. A hoozle, yeah, that's right.
Is that a New Zealand thing, a hoozle?
Yeah, a beer thing maybe.
It's you and your grains, I can see. It's all about
Yeah,
you and your
yeah,
grains.
yeah.
Awesome, good. So our grains have been doing its steeping,
Mashing,
mashing.
mashing.
That's been doing its mashing.
Yeah.
And I think boil is the next one, is
Yeah,
it?
that's right. So mash for 45 minutes. We've been gently
You
hoozling it
don't
up.
boil the grain though.
No, we're going to take that out.
Okay,
Yeah,
because you already have all those beautiful sugars.
that's
in-
right. And we
in your
don't
mash.
we don't want
Yes.
to be too hot. So you can see that it'll let it drain away. See all that lovely colour coming out of it. Smells good.
Does.
Yeah.
A big question I think
Yeah.
many people are asking now is why do we boil?
So we're going to boil it. We're only going to boil it for 20 minutes today because we're not actually adding hops into the boil. We're going to add our hops at the end. So we're just looking for aroma instead of bitterness from our hops today. Often you would be boiling it for longer with your hops to get the flavours and aromas out. Also you're sterilising your product and you're getting colour and flavour for your boil.
Before we finish the boil, you got this little thing here. What does this have?
It's a magic potion. It's some kettle finings. So we're just going to add that to the boil to help clarify our wort.
So it's going to keep some of the sediment
Yes,
to
yeah,
drop
absolutely.
down and
That's right.
Nice, beautiful. So how do we do that? Yeah, help me out.
So we're just going to dissolve it in a little bit of the hot wort to start with.
How much do I put in?
Like half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon?
Yeah, obviously every homebrew shop will have different product. Follow the instructions.
There you go.
Give that a swirl.
We dissolve it,
Yeah.
and it's a matter of just chucking it in.
I will let it dissolve for a couple of minutes and add it just 5 minutes before the boil is finished.
So we're still boiling.
Yep.
And it's a nice rolling boil. Now for the hops, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll just wait till we've finished the boil. We'll turn the kettle off and then we're going to add our dry hops.
Let's go
into
for
the
it.
kettle.
Let's go for it. I think
Right.
what's it, about 20 minutes? I want to ask the question about the duration of the boil. Why do we do it at 20 minutes?
Today we're doing it at 20 minutes, just so we can get some extra flavour and colour out of our grains that we've already mashed.
And that's sort of the standard, usually around the 20-minute
It depends. With this partial mash, we're doing a shorter boil. If you're doing a full all-grain mash, it'd be longer, and it would depend on your hop addition. So just follow your recipe, basically.
This smells lovely.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we have in here?
We've got some Eldorado, some Mosaic, and some Amarillo. We're making an APA.
An APA.
That's
So
right.
lots of citrus in it.
Absolutely.
So it's a matter of just adding it to the kettle?
Yeah, sometimes you can get a little bit of foaminess as a result, so maybe stand back a touch, but I'll let you do the honours.
I'm going to do the honors?
Yeah, why not?
Right, just sort of sprinkle it around?
Yeah. And then we'll give it a whirlpool.
You're going to give it a what?
A whirlpool.
Whirlpool. What does that mean?
So we're just going to create a whirlpool effect in our kettle, a centrifugal force with a spoon or a paddle or...
And why do we do that, Storm?
So what we're going to try and do is drop the hops down to the bottom of the kettle.
And making a little whirlpool will solve that problem for us?
Absolutely.
It takes a bit of practice to get that whirl going.
Does, and a bit of arm strength, but if you do it often enough, you'll be an expert. All right. Thank you.
Are we good? Are we good with this now? Do we just put this in the fermenter and go?
No, we need to cool it down, preferably the quicker the better, essentially. So we'll just leave it for 5 minutes to settle now that we've whirlpooled it, and all that hops will drop down to the bottom of our kettle, and then we're going to cool it down.
How do we do that?
We've got an immersion chiller here, so we're just going to slip that inside the kettle and crank the cold water flowing through it.
Storm, why do we want to chill our wort fast? What's the idea behind that?
The idea is we want to retain the flavour, and we also want to get it nice and clean, and we want to get it cooled down so we can add our yeast as soon as possible.
To what temperature are we cooling it down?
We're going to try and cool it down to around 22, 20 degrees. Yeah, the sooner the better.
I can see the hops are settled. There's none really drifting on the top.
Yeah, that's right, because we've waited just the right amount of time and great whirlpooling.
So the immersion chiller, I need to ask a question. How does this thing work?
Well, if I was at home in my garage, I'd just literally connect it to my hose, and the cold water's just going to run through your immersion chiller and out the other end.
And it's effectively going to suck out all the heat out of the water.
Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely. Nice and quick. Whereas if you're just waiting around for an ice bath or just time to take it, you need to do this basically. Better quality beer at the end of the day.
Do we keep the lid off so that we can get all the steam escaping and that cools it down a little faster?
Yeah, I can see why you think that, but no, we just want to keep the bugs out, so we're just going to pop the lid back on.
And that stops any pathogens or any yeast,
we don't
foreign
want
yeast coming in.
We don't want any wild yeast just to mix things up, do we?
Right, good. You know what? I came prepared. I came prepared this time because we've done this training on the whole fermentation process already. Nice, beautiful fermenter.
Yep.
It's not the fancy one, I'm afraid.
You don't need a fancy one.
Don't need a fancy one. We've got ourselves there. Our wort now, at what temperature are we aiming for?
So with this one, we're making a pale ale, so 18 to 20 was what the yeast requested.
One big question that comes up, how do I transfer it from there? Is there any particular importance in the way? Or do I just open a little tap and run it with the lid open?
Yeah, you could, but we just want to make it a little bit more sanitary, so we will use a hose to connect the two.
Came prepared yet again. So nice little hose. But you know, I've learned so much about keeping things sanitary.
You're going to spray it?
Good old spray, make sure everything is nice and clean. And if you stand back, I'm going to spray the little teat here on my kettle as well. We've got that covered. And you're going to do the honors?
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. We have all our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful partially mashed wort in our fermenter. But there's a wee bit of a problem here. We only have about half our fermenter full.
Yeah, well, we made more of a concentrate today just because our kettle was smaller, so we're just going to add some cold water.
It's as simple as that.
It is as simple as that.
So adding the cold water, and then obviously from there we can follow the standard steps that we do with the Blackrock kits. You have your yeast and make sure everything is clean, and you add your water and make sure it's at the right temperature. And you know what? This is actually a lot simpler than I thought it's going to be. And it gives me the opportunity to add some flavors that I don't get with the standard Blackrock kits or with dry hopping, as they say.
Yeah, you get to play around with it more. It's more your own beer.
My
at the
own
end
beer.
of the day. Well, not yet. Once it's done.
Once it's done.
Once
Good.
it's done.
I can't wait. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.